Let's give one more big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to the MacEwan University Big Band. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, if you are able, I'd ask that you please rise. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce this afternoon's Mace Bearer, Frank Sakuchi, Associate Professor of Accounting and Finance in the School of Business. Mr. Sakuchi is carrying the university's mace, which was donated to the university in 1997 by its namesake, Dr. Grant MacEwan, and became the official mace in 2008. It is especially meaningful to the university as it was hand-carved by Dr. MacEwan. Further information on the mace and other convocation traditions can be found in your convocation program. Please remain standing for the academic processional.
Good afternoon, graduands, distinguished guests, members of the stage party, faculty, staff, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Sekulich, University Registrar and Marshal of Convocation. I begin our ceremony today by recognizing that we are gathered on the traditional lands and waters of diverse Indigenous peoples. Please remain standing and in respect, remove all hats except mortarboards for the singing of our national anthem led by Ms. Haley Tomich. Thank you, Ms. Tomich. Please be seated. I declare MacEwan University Convocation open. It is intended to honor our 2016 graduates, and we are honored to have you present with us on this occasion. The word convocation comes from the Latin word convoco, which means to call together by summons. It is traditionally used in connection with an ecclesiastical or academic gathering. Convocations are called for the conferring of degrees, diplomas, certificates, for special announcements, and for the recognition of outstanding achievements. So it is today that we call colleagues and friends together to honor MacEwan University's graduates and award recipients for Spring 2016 Convocation. Now, I'd like to call upon the student member of our Board of Governors, Ms. Danica McConnell, to read the MacEwan University Invocation.
Through learning, we flourish and help others to flourish. We stand here today on the brink of important change for ourselves and for the world. Inspired by the past, we now step forward to transform the future. Engaging with others, we cherish the diversity of experience within our communities and ourselves. Through perseverance, we excel. Through compassion, we connect. Through creativity, we thrive. Through knowledge, we grow. Through all of this and more, let us forge a legacy to nurture, to inspire, to endure. Moved by this spirit, strong in our knowledge, we move out into the world with open arms, open mind, and open heart. We pledge to leave the world better than we found it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. National Aboriginal Day recognizes and celebrates the cultures and contributions of the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples of Canada. was first celebrated in 1996 when it was proclaimed by then Governor General of Canada, Romeo LeBlanc. National Aboriginal Day is celebrated annually today on June 21st. Convocation is an event in which the university confirms its commitment to our cultural and historical roots. Accordingly, MacEwan University is honored at Convocation today to celebrate National Aboriginal Day. We are privileged to ask Elder Elsie Paul to provide Convocation today with a traditional Aboriginal prayer. This will be followed by an honor song performed by Amber Dion, Assistant Professor of Social Work here at MacEwan University. Elsie Paul is a well-known Cree Métis elder born and raised on the Wolf Lake Métis settlement. Learning from the elders of her own community, her teachings are based on respecting Mother Earth and all its creatures spiritually and promoting harmony among each other. She offers workshops on traditional parenting and cultural awareness and has received the Esqueo Award from the Institute for the Advancement of Aboriginal Women for her work with women in conflict with the law. Amber Dion is Nehiao Isqueo, Cree woman from the Kihiwin Cree Nation in Treaty 6. She is passionate about the reclamation of Indigenous knowledge, traditional healing practices, and decolonization. Her most recent research includes Treaty 6 Indigenous youth health strategies, mental health, and addictions in an Indigenous context, and outcomes-based services delivery for urban Indigenous families. I would ask Elder Paul and Professor Dion to assist us in celebrating National Aboriginal Day.
Wow, what a beautiful gathering this is. Now I kind of know what Elvis felt like, eh? Because I have the same initials as Elvis Presley, okay, Elsie Paul. So I feel really good about that. And I also feel like I just gone to heaven and all you angels are meeting me. So I feel really good about that. This is certainly a beautiful day. So this tobacco was given me this morning. So therefore I brought it again for this afternoon. And I'm going to say my prayer in Cree. Then now I'm going to translate it into English after, okay, just to be of service to all. Ai hei no tawin an steak in naskum dan o manus ka gisagak. E wamin kin naskum nan mat so note. Daski nan mi note. Mi no mawach go tuin. E wamin kin naskum nan jo asim snanak. No simnanak. Wakum magananak awi taksun chikniga ni ke waminot kin naskum nan. No kum nana gochte, musom nana gochte. E wa kahkiogi wayotski naskum nan. Anotska gisgag. Thank you. We thank you, Creator, for today, and we thank you for life. We also thank you for our land, and we thank you for kinships and our children, our grandchildren, and our relatives who are coming in the future. We thank you for grandmothers and grandfathers. We thank you for everything, Creator. Hi, hey. Okay.
I'm a little bit taller than Elsie. Tanse netotemtek Amber Dion nitigasun egwa utsbegasis nitigasun ginagoma sekotsinia nukum Sarah Dion, Young Chief, Musum, Billy Dion, Nigiguak, Georgia Guarlene, Dansak, Damarisegwa, Lyric, Nian Nehioa School. So again, my name is Amber Dion, and I'm from the Kihiwin Cree Nation in Treaty 6 territory. My late grandparents were Billy Dion and Sarah Dion, Young Chief. I have two daughters, Damaris and Lyric. My parents are George and Arlene, and I am a Cree woman. I was asked to share a song this morning and again this afternoon, and so I'll do just that. I want to acknowledge that this song was gifted to Leo McGilvery from the Satellite Cree Nation, and he was gifted this song to share with others. The song is a prayer song to our spiritual grandmother, Okiskoesquo, which is our Sky Woman. And our Sky Woman is responsible for seeing our path prior to us seeing our path. She knows where we've been, she knows where we're gonna go. And so I'd like to sing this song to honor all of the graduates here today, whatever has brought you here, and on your journey thus far, and to send you blessings on where you're going to go. I also want to honor our ancestors and the sacred lands here in Treaty 6 territory, the lands of Nehiawak, the Plains Cree, the Métis, and the Nakota Sioux nations that are here as well. Yes, it's National Aboriginal Day. I invite you to continue getting any type of education and awareness and celebrating Indigenous peoples' resiliency the 364 other days of the year as well. So with that, I'll sing this song for you. Oki seko esquel, hey, 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 sawe minan, weo, hey, oh, hey, oh, weo, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, weo, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey. Hi, Nanaskum Tinkakyo. I'm thankful to all of you.
I would like to now introduce members of the stage party, and I would ask the members of the stage party to please remain standing once you've been called upon. An audience, I would ask you to please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. I would like to start with Board of Governors Chair John Day, President Dr. David Atkinson, Provost and Vice President Academic Dr. John Corlett, and Academic Governance Council Vice Chair Mr. Chris Hancock. Would members of our Board of Governors, Vice Presidents, and Associate Vice Presidents please rise? And now I'll ask the Deans, Associate Deans, and members of the university's administration to rise. I would like to now ask representatives of each of our associations, faculty, staff, and student to please rise. Would our mace bearer and convocation speaker stand and be recognized? And will our distinguished proctor, Ms. Rhonda Reich, instructor in the School of Business, along with all faculty and staff of the university, please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stage party. This is your university. Please join me now in a round of applause acknowledging them. Thank you. You may be seated. And now I would like to call upon Board Chair John Day to bring greetings on behalf of MacEwan University's Board of Governors.
Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. As Chair of the Board of Governors, I've had the very distinct pleasure of welcoming all of you to MacEwan University's Convocation ceremony. This is a privilege I look forward to each and every year, and there's no greater honor than being able to take part in these ceremonies, which are always moving and inspirational. I'd like to welcome each of the members of the platform party, our distinguished guests, our award recipients, and our faculty and staff, and most importantly, the class of 2016 and your families and friends. I'd also like to acknowledge the board members that are here today to join us, Andy Rose and Danica McConnell, and as well a former board member, Cassie Burkholder. Today is a day for reflection, for celebration and excitement as you graduate from the School of Business, and we're all delighted to be able to share it with you. I've been honored to be part of 34 convocations during my term as board chair, sounds like a long time, and to have congratulated well over 8,000 students as they cross the stage. I appreciate how complex people's lives are, and that for some of you, the journey to get here has been an unbelievable challenge. Your walk across the stage, your stories, your accomplishments will stay with me long after my formal association with this university ends. While I'm nearing the end of my term on the Board of Governors, I'd like to take you back for just a moment to 2010 when my journey started. Those were early days of MacEwan University and its evolution. The board, the administration, faculty, and staff were all anxious to move forward with new buildings and with new degrees and new program offerings. The changes since then have been remarkable. One of our primary building goals was to consolidate our programs in Edmonton City Centre, and we're just 15 months away from this now happening. When the Centre for Arts and Culture opens in September of 2017, all of our students will be in the downtown core. The next major project after that will be the new Students Association building led by our very own students. A great deal of progress has been made, and we hope to be breaking ground in the spring of 2017. I wonder, through the experience of building the SAMU building and planning the SAMU building, how many budding developers there are out there, and I wonder what our city will look like 20 or 30 years from now based on their experience of planning the SAMU building. I'm a big proponent of the downtown core, and these new buildings show that the university has been extremely successful at anticipating the needs of our students and what will work for the city of Edmonton. Our degree offerings have evolved as well, matching demand from our students with the needs of Alberta's employers in the public, the private, the non-for-profit, and creative sectors. And we have done this in a measured way, making sure we have capacity that matches interest and need, then growing programs that build on our strengths. Our bachelor degree programs in communication studies, the new social work program, psychiatric nursing, and music are perfect examples. And we are ready to introduce more, quite a few more: health promotion, design, fine arts, justice studies, and early childhood education. We know that this approach has paid off. 2 years ago, after becoming a university, we gained AUCC designation, the gold standard for Canadian university programs, which puts us on an equal footing with all universities across the country. Universities are complicated places. Expectations are very high, and it takes a great deal of skill and expertise to guide a university to greatness. The Board of Governors is such an important part of this process. It's critical to have board members who bring very specific expertise to the governance of the university and reflect the diversity of the faculty, the staff, and the students. I've given some thought to what makes MacEwan such a special place. For me, it boils down to relationships. Relationships between the board and the administration, between the faculty and students, and between students themselves. We've worked hard to protect class sizes, and this sets us apart as an undergraduate institution. It creates unique opportunities for you and your professors and instructors to know each other, to learn and grow together, and to develop ties that will endure beyond your graduation. Class size is a foundational piece, essential to MacEwan's success, and one that I hope the next board chair and administration will work hard to promote and to protect. Our focus is always on the student experience, and with each new initiative, we always ask one question: what will this mean for our students? I'll give you an example. As great as the new Centre for Arts and Culture is, it was going to be a bit of a long, cold walk to the building on the west end of our campus that's being built now. So we looked around, we We didn't want the building to be isolated. We moved things around, found the money, and a new pedway is being built that will link the building to the rest of the city center campus. Imagine the atmosphere on campus once we integrate our amazing arts community with the rest of the university. To go to a lecture, to hear a jazz performance, a live band, or wander through the latest installation by our visual artist. This will enrich the MacEwan experience for all of our students, broaden our horizons, and spur creativity in all of our programs. And just as important is the chance to cheer on the Griffins. Last month, MacEwan became the 17th full member of the Canada West Athletic Conference, and just 2 weeks ago, we were voted as full members of the Canadian Inter-University Sport. This puts many of our teams in the big leagues, right where they belong, and our athletic program is rising to the challenge. Women's basketball had us all on the edge of our seats with their incredible year, winning the Canada West Explorer Division regular season championship and making it to the Final Four. Women's soccer wasn't far behind with the trip to the Final Six. We all celebrated with them and are already looking forward to next season. When Rogers Place opens this fall, the MacEwan hockey program will have a home in the new community arena, built as a part of the new development downtown. A home rink for our hockey team, just past the east end of our campus, with a sea of maroon and white in the stands. This will be a big deal for MacEwan. One of the things I'm asked about is whether or not I have any advice for graduates. You can be sure that your time in the School of Business has given you the knowledge that you'll need to succeed. What will set you apart? In my experience, it all boils down to something pretty basic. Showing up every day, focusing on being a good colleague, treating everyone with respect and civility, being honest and ethical. While it's simple and it is a very basic thing, there are times when it's the last thing that you really want to do. My challenge is to do it anyway. Make it part of your core values. I can guarantee it really matters. Show up, be a good colleague, treat people with respect, be honest and ethical. That's not everything as we busily complicate our lives, but it's a lot. And hand in hand with this is the reward that comes when you turn your gaze outwards. Look outside your own circle. Explore what your community needs to move forward. Then step up to help. I can say with certainty after many years of volunteering that you'll gain a richness of experience and the ability to see what's really important in life. This sense of community is what I remember most about my time at the MacEwan University Board of Governors. It makes this institution great, and so many of you are already showing this spirit in yourselves. Think back to your involvement with Mission Possible. Just one example. From a team challenge and a $5 investment came truly outstanding projects that paid rewards both to you as the next generation of business leaders and to the community. It is this focus on community, on using your technical skills to the benefit of our community organizations, which I hope will keep close to your heart as you move into the world of work. I've worked with many teams in my life, and by far the most rewarding experiences are really never individual experiences. The memories that last are the team accomplishments. I must say that I've never experienced being on a team of 19,000 people before, but that is exactly how I remember my experience with MacEwan over the last 6 years. We were all teammates, and I know of no other team like it. This makes MacEwan University a special place. Before I close, I'd like to thank a few people. My colleagues on the Board of Governors, you've been an exemplary board, really the very best board I've worked with the best mix of skills and commitment to sharing them with the university. The administration, you're an outstanding team dedicated to both academic excellence and effective stewardship of resources, led by a highly skilled president in Dr. David Atkinson. The faculty and staff are one word, amazing. MacEwan University and our students would not be there where we are today without you. One person I really want to single out is Margot Baptiste of the board's secretariat. Margot and I have spoken probably every day for the last 6 years, sometimes several times a day. She really runs the administration of the board, and without a board secretariat, the board just does not function. So I couldn't have done it without you, Margot, and I thank you so much for your all you've done to make my job easier. And I'd just like to say that I think you're the gold standard of this, Margot. And finally, the class of 2016, who represent the very best MacEwan University has to offer. This university, all of the people on the podium, and your family and friends are here because of you. It is your day, and the rest of us are your community, ready to cheer you on as you walk across the stage and into the next chapter. I wish each of you great success in your careers and in your life. We aren't ending our association with you today, we're evolving it. My hope is that you'll be proud alumni and help us build an even greater future for MacEwan University. On behalf of the Board of Governors, let me simply say congratulations to the class of 2016.
Thank you, Board Chair Day. And now, I would like to invite President Dr. David Atkinson to address this afternoon's graduates.
Distinguished platform party, members of faculty and staff, ladies and gentlemen, friends, and on this occasion, as always, most important, our graduates. And if I can be allowed on the side, there are an awful lot of you this afternoon. Welcome to Convocation for the Faculty of Business for Spring 2016. Convocation is when we celebrate the achievements of you, our graduates, and pause to reflect on what your accomplishments mean, both for our university and for those who have worked hard to make our community a better place. It is the event when we thank all those who support our graduates, friends, and family, and certainly there are many here today. You deserve special recognition for the assistance you have afforded. And it is when we express our appreciation to all members of the MacEwan community for their efforts on behalf of our university and especially on behalf of our students. Simply put, it is the institution's most important celebration when we set aside day-to-day challenges to recommit ourselves to our core ambition to be the very best at what it is we do. Earlier today at Convocation this morning, we took the time to thank our outgoing board chair, John Day, who has served the institution with distinction for the last 6 years. I would, however, like at this Convocation to recognize all that he has done for MacEwan. His leadership has been exemplary, and without him, the institution would not be where it is today. So thank you, John. Notwithstanding the trials and traumas of history, the university has remained a dominant and potent institution that, even after 1,000 years, enjoys a pride of place in our community. And as a new university, MacEwan is just now finding its place in this remarkable history. And while we might not be Paris or Oxford or Harvard, we share in the same aspirations for our students and especially for you, our graduates today. You are part of this historic continuity. Universities began as teaching institutions where our collective culture and traditions were protected, cultivated, and passed on from one generation to another. And it is this role that most people, even today, identify with universities. Only in the 19th century did universities become institutions committed to research and innovation, and this over time has become an ever more dominant role for the modern university. The two are clearly integrated. Research informs teaching, the assumption being that you, our students, are entitled to what is new, to what is cutting edge and creative. And equally, the questions you raise in the classroom inspire faculty to find answers and explanations. And finally, we are all connected, faculty and students alike, in the act of learning. But it remains that universities are so much more, and that the demands placed on them today are ever increasing. Never in history has so much been known and available to be known a click away on Google. The challenge to master this information and to use it for the general good is increasingly the primary goal of a university, suffusing and influencing everything we do both inside and outside the classroom. We at MacEwan aspire to provide you, our graduates, with an education that, yes, leads to a good job. It is something we hope for all of you. And also an education that allows each one of you to live a good life. But we must also assert our role as an institution committed to the social good. We must work to make the world a better place. Yes, we do this in what we teach and what we research, but MacEwan and every one of you, our graduates today, must embody and express in your actions this responsibility. It is this with which we today specifically charge you. Attending university constitutes an enormous privilege, and with privilege comes responsibility to give back, to return to society what it has given you, to ultimately help shape society and, dare say, the world generally. We should all take pride in what MacEwan represents, in how it puts its students first, recognizing as we do that you are the true agents of change. Or we should take pride in its implicit commitment to the values of its namesake, Dr. Grant MacEwan, who exhorted us to make the world a better place than we found it. Its broad commitment, we should celebrate its broad commitment to sustainability and the general recognition that we must do everything in our power to place the health of the planet first. Or celebrate its recent commitment to implement the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, so important to the future of our country. To its leading role in heightening awareness of sexual harassment, or its commitment to being an inclusive community that welcomes all and provides a supportive place for everyone to learn. But more than this, we take pride in how the MacEwan community, in examples big and small, expresses these values. We can, of course, talk of the recent opening of our residences to evacuees from Fort McMurray and the efforts of faculty and staff and students to make them feel welcome in what was surely one of the worst moments of their lives. Like so many others in Alberta and here in Edmonton, MacEwan stepped up because it was the right thing to do. Or we can talk about those who work constantly in our institution to help those in situations of need and deprivation. For example, the faculty and staff who spontaneously came together in response to the Syrian refugee crisis. Or we can talk about our student union with its own program to support refugee students. Or we can point to the 27-year history of MacEwan's Ukrainian Research Development Institute, who has done so much to support the development of nursing, inclusive education, and democratic reform in Ukraine. Our students constantly volunteer in the community, and we should reflect with special pride on their efforts, whether it be the MacEwan ambassadors or our own MacEwan athletics teams. Project Hope, which stands for Hands Open to People Everywhere, began at MacEwan as an initiative at MacEwan and is now its own not-for-profit, which raises money and sends students to work in projects in Latin America. While we celebrate our successes, there remains much to do. The university must continue to pursue its efforts with respect to Indigenous education, and it is appropriate we stress this priority at this convocation on National Aboriginal Day as part of National Aboriginal Week. Similarly, while the institution has done much to be environmentally sensitive and a sustainable campus, it needs and must do much more. Universities for many years existed behind cloistered walls, the assumption being that they were protected from the negative influences of the outside world. This has changed, and we must ourselves be agents for social change. This is the task which MacEwan sets for you, hoping as we do that you leave MacEwan with a heightened commitment to the social good. Today, we recognize the graduating students of the Faculty of Business. And you, our students graduating today, have a special role. We constantly hear in the media about the excesses of big business, which is first and foremost about the bottom line, profits, and shareholder value. Now, I'm not here to mount a criticism of the capitalist enterprise. Rather, we recognize that the freedoms of the marketplace are what sustain the incredible life that we enjoy. Rather, it is to remind you, a new generation of business leaders, that there is a special sense of responsibility that rests on your shoulders. There are many in this world who do not benefit from what we have or what you have. And it behooves all of us in this global world to work for the betterment of all. So today, we might remember President John F. Kennedy's observation that what we seek to advance, what we seek to develop in all of our colleges and universities are educated men and women who can bear the burdens of responsible citizenship, who can make judgments about life as it is and as it must be. This is the highest ambition. But having said this, let me ask you today to take the time to celebrate what you have achieved. We ask that you remain part of MacEwan through our Alumni Association. We wish you well for the future because, of course, your success is our success. And we ask that you commit to improving your community and the world. There is so much that depends on it. Thank you.
Dr. Fred Fletcher, would you join me at the podium, please? For those Albertans who love politics, the past year has been paradise. Provincial election, a federal election, and south of our border, a presidential election unlike anything we've ever seen before. For those Albertans who do not love politics, the past year has probably had them wishing that more politicians had taken Franklin Delano Roosevelt's advice about political communication: be sincere, be brief, be seated. Dr. Fred Fletcher has devoted his academic career to helping us understand how political communication and media coverage of politics influence the way we understand our political and electoral system. His work has illuminated the complex relationship the media have with politics and politicians, and with us as citizens and as voters. Deep thinking about the daily tsunami of information that bombards us about politics is a critical aspect of maintaining and growing our democracy. Dr. Fletcher has for many years provided that deep thinking and invaluable insight. He is Professor of Communication Studies and Politics at York University and is a sought-after speaker and consultant. He taught previously at the University of Washington and has lectured at prestigious institutions such as Harvard University, Simon Fraser University, and the University of Michigan. He has consulted widely for major news organizations, provincial governments, and the federal government. His pioneering research in the fields of media and political communication has been featured in numerous books, technical papers, and journal articles. And he has been a friend of MacEwan University, assisting in the development of our Bachelor of Communication Studies, serving as chair of the Site Review Committee that approved that program, and later as a visiting scholar. The MacEwan University Medal of Excellence is awarded to individuals outside of the MacEwan University community whose achievements make exemplary contributions to academic, social, economic, cultural, artistic, or political life. Dr. Fred Fletcher, for your exceptional contributions to the field of communication studies, we are honored to present you with the University Medal of Excellence. I have something for you. It's the medal, and I think we're going to do a photo. Yeah, we're going to do a photo right over there. Actually, it's off to your left. Nope, right here. Yeah, we're good. I will take that.
Thank you, Provost. To the Board of Governors, President Atkinson, the faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, and supporters. Let me begin by saying how deeply honored I am to receive this award. I am particularly honored because the MacEwan University vision reflects very closely what I have come to believe is an essential element of post-secondary education in the 21st century: the creative combination of applied and liberal education. I'm going to return to that theme in a few moments. First, however, I want to say how pleased I am to share in this celebration, not only with the graduates whose achievements are being celebrated today, but also with their supporters, partners, parents, friends, children who shared their sacrifices along the way. It is a day to celebrate. Now, convocations, as you've heard, have a long history. We celebrate this history and the achievements of our graduates by wearing these odd and rather impractical garments. They did once have a practical function, at least PhD hoods like mine. They were intended to be passed around at or after classes so satisfied students could drop in their tuition fees. Now, I will say that fortunately for professors at least, those days are long gone. Now, while this convocation has undoubtedly 21st century aspects, in fact, it has origins in a history that goes back 1,000 years. And throughout this history, universities have tried to balance preparations for specific vocations, initially priests, teachers, and clerks, with preparation for effective citizenship or living in the world. And in universities in Western Canada, with which I am quite familiar as a graduate of the University of British Columbia, have offered this combination of applied and professional and theoretical and liberal arts education to their students since they opened their doors. So your diploma symbolizes not only the acquisition of marketable skills, but also admission to an international community of educated men and women. It carries with it not only the recognition of your accomplishments, but also an obligation to give back to the larger community. The goal of preparing students for effective citizenship has always been part of a balanced educational experience. The great thinkers of the past and present help us to ask fundamental questions about the world around us. So I'm saying we must pay attention not only to how we do things, so we can do them well or better, but also to why we do things, so we can ask fundamental questions about the practices we employ. We should be asking not only how we can do things better, but also what are the ethical and social issues do our practices raise? It's not inappropriate to ask, under certain circumstances, should we be doing this at all? The theoretical and liberal arts elements in our education, which are present in most courses in one form or another, underpin our professional skills. They help us make the hard choices that challenge our habits and our loyalties, and they are crucial to innovation. Although economic competition tends to focus on individuals and corporations as workers, entrepreneurs, producers, and consumers, we have to remember that we live in communities. Communities add richness to our lives and are important even in this virtual community age. When it comes to community, Canadians today face some important challenges, and I would like to highlight a few of these this afternoon. The massive forest fire that damaged Fort McMurray and threatened oil installations in the area reminds us that our society needs an effective public sector as well as a productive private sector. When we rightly praise the heroic work of the firefighters, we sometimes forget that what we are seeing is our tax dollars at work. At its best, government plays an important role not only in our safety and security, but also in our prosperity as well. The events surrounding the fire also spoke to our sense of community. Canadians across the country considered Fort McMurray residents to be members of their community, the larger community of Canadians, and donated in unprecedented numbers to the Red Cross. The fire also drew attention to the special role of Indigenous peoples in Canada. A recent story in the Globe and Mail reported that about 500 First Nations and Métis firefighters fought the wildfire. And the story noted that these firefighters brought valuable traditional knowledge of the area to the task of trying to contain the fire. More largely, in a recent report, my colleague Daniel Drach and I wrote that, quote, rebalancing the relationship between Canada's Indigenous peoples and the rest of the population is one of the most difficult public policy challenges of our time. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission called upon Canadians to face the truth of our history, a special task for universities, and to look for partnerships that would point the way to reconciliation. And I'm glad to see that MacEwan University has a strong commitment to this task. The wildfire also reminds us that whether we like it or not, we cannot dismiss climate change as a distant and theoretical issue. While there is much legitimate debate about how climate change relates to forest fires and other ecosystem changes, it is important that we educate ourselves about the issue and consider how we can live sustainable lives. Once again, your university is a leader in thinking about and trying to implement sustainability. And in your professional and personal lives, it's our obligation to future generations to do what we can. I also would like to talk about Canada's identity as a multicultural society. It has a long, if somewhat checkered, history of immigration and reasonable accommodation in a peaceable country, and that should not be taken for granted. Reasonable accommodation is about change, and it's frequently a challenge. Acceptance of difference is not always easy. The peace, order, and good government we have generally enjoyed in this country need constant tending and reinforcement. I wanted to raise these challenges because each generation must find its own way through those challenges. But they can draw on the wisdom of the past through their liberal education. Now finally, I feel that it's my obligation to leave you with some Twitter-like pieces of advice that I've gleaned over my long academic and professional careers. So here's what I'd like to say. Embrace critical thinking. Remember that ethical and critical thinking means asking fundamental questions and sifting evidence. It's not about setting up as an internet troll. I'd like to say critical does not mean negative. Speaking of the internet, which I often do as Canada's representative to the World Internet Project, I'm suggesting that in your professional lives you should be open to the opportunities the internet provides, but you have to keep in mind the risks that this new technology also poses. One risk, which is evident to communication scholars like me, is the emergence of an echo chamber of customized information. So I am advising you as graduates, as members of the international community of scholars, students and graduates, men and women with an education, to seek out people you disagree with. This helps clarify your own thinking, and you might learn something. I also would urge you to beware of the allure of the viral. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it is worthwhile or significant. And my wife made me add this line, I say this even though I like cats. And I would say, especially to younger generations, don't be haunted by FOMO, the fear of missing out. Turn off your mobile device from time to time. If something is important, it will be there in the morning. I'd like to say a word about multitasking as well. Multitasking can be fun, but it's really not the best way to tackle anything that matters. Focus matters, and it takes practice. And a couple of final points. I'm very interested and supportive of the creative combination of theory and practice. So I would say, learn by doing. But when you practice your profession, do it mindfully. Thinking and doing, like theory and practice, are not opposites. They complement one another. Keep learning. Stay current in your field. You will discover, if you haven't already, that nothing you learn is wasted. You never know when it might crop up. And I found that you can get very useful advice in unexpected places. I happen to be a certified coach, and in my first coaching certificate course, I was advised to catch my players doing it right. Sometimes instructors are excessively focused on catching people doing it wrong. So this advice, catch them doing it right, applies to teachers, managers, business leaders, and parents. And then I would say respect everyone's best efforts. Respect is going to be the key to truth and reconciliation, I think. So you should respect everyone's best efforts, whether they play hockey like Gordie Howe, or maybe I should say Wayne Gretzky, or whether they drive the Zamboni or clean the ice. So as you go on to the next phase of your lives, I wish for you the good fortune to flourish through learning, as the MacEwan University motto puts it, and the wisdom to find an appropriate balance between work and family, between achievement and good citizenship. I would say be proud of your education. Be proud of the progressive, forward-looking university, which is providing you with your education and the degree. Build on your education and do something exciting with it. And finally, I'd like to say miigwech to the Indigenous peoples of Treaty 6 and others in this area. And thank you for including me in this celebration, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Fletcher, for your sage insights and advice to our graduates today. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Corlett, along with Academic Governance Council Vice Chair, Mr. Chris Hancock, to their respective podiums for the presentation of graduates and the conferring of credentials.
Graduates, if you are able, please rise. On behalf of the faculties and schools of MacEwan University, I present these graduates and those named in the Convocation program who are not able to be at this ceremony. I ask that they be pledged and admitted to the MacEwan University degrees which they have earned.
Thank you. I will ask you now to join me in the MacEwan University Graduate Pledge. So this is a pledge, not an oath. And I'm hoping that you'll do an expression of purpose at the end of it and you'll respond with, I will. I'll give you a note when you need to do that. So the question is, will you pledge yourself to use the knowledge, experience, and skills that you've gained at MacEwan University to serve your community and the world faithfully? Excellent. So by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the province of Alberta, and upon the recommendation of MacEwan University's Academic Governance Council, I admit to you the degree, diploma, or certificate to which you're entitled, and invest in you all the rights and privileges, powers, and responsibilities pertaining to that credential. Now I bestow upon you this credential as a solemn trust to transform, to engage, to improve the world from this day forth to teach and to learn from others so that through your learning, we all may flourish. Thank you. You can be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Corlett and Mr. Hancock. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Raymond Barry, Assistant Professor of Music, to say a few words.
In honor of our first graduating classes of the Bachelor of Communication Studies and the Bachelor of Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music in the spring of 2015, a competition was held and 2 pieces were written by music students and were selected to celebrate this milestone. These compositions are a lasting legacy, and the intention is that they be played from that day forward. The first piece was written by Andrew Reed. It is called Memories, and the second, Nothing Can Stop Us, written by Sean Bessie, which will be played as the recessional. I encourage you to follow along with the lyrics to Memories on page 9 of your program.
This
Thank you, Mr. Buree and the MacEwan University Big Band, and to the students who created this lasting legacy for our university. And now, our marshals will usher the graduates to the stage, and the MacEwan University Big Band will play as graduates are being assembled.
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take the town and turn it upside down. I'm gonna live, live, live till I die. They're gonna say, what a cow. I'm gonna play for the sky. Ain't gonna miss a thing. I'm gonna have a fling. I'm gonna live, live, live till I die. The blues I'll lay low, I'll make them stay low. They'll never trail over my head. I'll be a devil till I'm an angel, but until then, hallelujah, gonna dance, gonna fly. I'll take a chance riding high. Before my number's up, I'm gonna fill my cup. I'm gonna live, 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 live till I die. The blues I'll lay low, I'll make them stay low. They'll never trail over my head. I'll be a devil till I'm an angel, but until then, hallelujah, gonna dance, gonna fly. I'll take a chance riding high. Before my number's up, I'm gonna fill my cup. I'm gonna live, live, live till I die.
Round of applause for the MacEwan University Big Band. We will now commence with the individual presentation of our graduates. We would like to remind you that if you wish to take photos of your graduate, please come to the area at the right of the stage as we approach your graduate's name in the program. An usher will assist you to ensure the smooth flow of people in and out of that area. With the exception of those taking photos, we ask that you remain seated during the presentation out of respect for all graduates and their families. Offering congratulations to each graduate, our Board Chair Day, Mr. Hancock, Dr. Corlett, and the Faculty Dean. Dr. Atkinson will present each graduate with their credential on stage. He will be assisted by Associate Registrars Mr. Tony Norad and Ms. Michelle Fraser. Offstage to your right is Casey Bookholder, alumnus of MacEwan University. Ms. Burkholder will present each graduate with a gift on behalf of MacEwan University alumni. I will ask the graduates return to their seats after receiving their credentials. And now, I will call upon Dean Elsie Elford, School of Business, to present graduates.
And now, presenting graduates from the Bachelor of Commerce program.
I now present to you the following candidates for the Bachelor of Commerce degree within the School of Business.
And now presenting the graduates from the Bachelor of Commerce program. Minette Abdallah Karim. Myrene D. Abouan. Jessica Adetutu Adeneken. Aditya Rajesh Agrawal. Jyoti Ahir. Shahir Akhlaq.
Saif Osama Albana. Glenn Jonas Anderson. Scott Cameron Anderson. Tyler James Andrews. Sergei Andrienko. Janelle Anselmo. Gabandeep Singh Atwal with distinction. Parker Reed Aubin.
Kian Kian Ba. Conrad Benjamin Bablitz. Morgan Lee Baddock. Jordan James Bagan. Terry Singh Baines. Nathan Patrick Baird. Kristen Ann Baker. Jessica Page Barber.
Taylor Barnes. Jenna Lee Barron. Chethani Chulange Basanake. Sean David Baudet. Zachary Chaz Bauman with distinction. Timothy Clive Baxter. Bo Brooklyn Beamish. Nicholas Hannah Belloc. Holly Bender. Erica Jacqueline Bertolini. Stephanie Bechet. Sabrina Dawn Bjorklund.
Dilpreet Singh Boparai. Samantha Sky Borgel. Christopher Clemens Bort. Joshua Dennis Bosch. Hoda Fozi Bulale. Mary Christine Boyer with distinction. Sadie Ann Breitkreitz. Alana Carly Brokop with distinction.
Tamunosa Gogo Brown. Tracy Melissa Brown. Alice Akimana Bukumi. Derek John Burak. John Lawrence Burgess. Sean Derek Boussier. Gabrielle Mary Caballo. Yi Lin Kai. Vanessa Erin Kane. Rowan Mercedes Calloway with distinction.
Lauren Elizabeth Anna Campbell. John Alexander Capus. Savannah Carson. Vea Lee Sepella. Guylaine Louis Champigny. James Robert Charpentier. Michelle Chen. Raymond Chen.
Natalia Michelle Childs. Ashley Marie Chidoba. Brody Michael Clark Davies. Anthony Raymond Comden. Nicholas James Como. Matthew Thomas Conniff. Samantha Lee Connolly. Nicholas Richard Corralejo. Christopher Barry Davis. Nicole Marie Havelona DeCello. Jing Deng.
Gulnar Altaf Dalwani. Jagrup Kaur Dillon. Simran Kaur Dillon. Kelsey Catherine Doran. Joshua Ryan Doucette. Colby Christopher Doyle. Kennedy Page Doyle with distinction. Sydney Mary Martha Dunn. Nicole Dorothy Durand.
Abdul Rahman Ahmad El Zain. Caitlin Alexandra Entner. Erica Evelyn Epperjesse. Cody Frederick Essie. Mackenzie Taylor Esposito. Esima Nyong Hussein. Adenike Ashley Omatayo Fabii. Sherry Lynn Fast. Madiha Fazal.
Francesco Antonio Ferrari. Christina Figueroa. Vanessa Benhaz Fortanpe. Lachlan McKay Fredrickson. Courtney Amelia Fry. Joshua Darwin Fuhr. Melissa Ashley Funk. Nedi Gangwali. Mauricio Garcia. Kathleen May Garma.
Shelby Renee Gartner. Jasmine Godet. Matthew James Godet with distinction. Rhonda Lee Gauthier. Brendan William Gemmell. Ryan Nick Francis Gerlovich. Bohanna Gilbertson. Andrew Gillespie. Dylan Donald Gingra. Jacqueline Marie Golas.
Navneet Gondara. Andrew Joshua Grant. Carmen Rosetta Graschuk. Brianne Caitlin Gould with distinction. Amina Hajar. Aurora Jean Haldorson. Kaylee Cecilia Hannevelt.
Jihad Hatum. Chunbi Ha. Peter Heese. Kendra Lynn Henderson. Glynis Jean Hennig. Maria Donafe Hernandez. Kwok Hang Ho. Stephanie Page Hope.
Brianne Kelsey Hoare. Drew Alexander Horn. Paul William Howitt. Megan Lou Hoyseth. Brian Kevin Hui. Selena Hussein. Nemo Hussein. Yoon Tae Win.
Lee Nyok Tram Hyun. Tram Thieu Hyun. Omar Ignacio. Si Kwan Ivan Ip. Manjot Singh Jaggi. Tegan Elizabeth Ann James. Sahar Janissar. Rajveer Singh Jasser.
Alana Jane Jeffress. Sonia Kaur Jangri. Rahim Karim Jivraj. Caitlin Faye Johnson. Bibin Baby Joseph. Libin Joseph. Summit Kumar Jyoti. Alina Zulfikar Kassan.
Mari Irene Kenyon. Amanda Jean Keckner. Haley Jacqueline Krantz. Angela Lorraine Kraus. Austin Krausert. Ryan Andrew Norbert Larocque. Samantha Lee Larson. Huari Carlos Le Liang. Tram Hyun Nyuk Lee. Young Young Lee.
Laurier Dean Lefebvre. Karima Diana Leslie. Jason Donald Letwin. Leah Susanna Lewis with distinction. Xiaoyu Li. Wangguang Li. Ibi Lekani. Tracy Louise Lones.
Logan Matthew McDonald. Reed Alexander McDonald. Matthew Tyler McPhee. Tyler James Madsen. Brendan Mitchell Mall. Megan Kimberly Mall. Shakira Leilika Mayers. Omar Manji. David Michael Marchand.
Carlo James Marino. Kurt Marco. Shalane LaRae Martel. Rebecca Jane Ann Martin. Rebecca Lynn Martin with distinction. Andrew Royce Mason with distinction. Amandeep Singh Mataru. Yahweh Grospe Matuginas.
Ryan Christopher May. Alyssa Diana McFarland. Stephen Terry McGinn with distinction. Hillary Page McKee. Samantha McLean. Joel Russell McLeish. Zachary Freeman Melzer. Kristen Mercer. Carlos Antonio Marino. Nathan Brian Michalski. Rochelle Leanne Miller. Alyssa Juliana Mitchell.
Taylor Jean Mix. Sebastian Montoya Sanchez. Zachary James Mora. Justin Dominic Morello. Rana Jayan Morales Morines. Rana May Gwen Morinas. Alexandra Haley Morrison. David Clive Mugabe. Kimberly Ann Mullen.
Grant Patrick Michaeluk. Youssef Nabulsi. Christine Erica Nakatsui. Ryan Richard Nealon. Lindsay Lee Neese. Tatum Tennille Neufeld. Daniel John Higgins Newark.
Tom T. Bick Nguyen. Tram Tran Min Nguyen. Alexandra Nieuwenhuis Sigvaldeston. Anab Noor. Chukwumeka Pascal Matthew Obiajunwa. Muhubu Adan Ole. Abi Askuboini.
Claire Ellen Packer. Navpreet Panag. Jonathan Michael Papiani. Jomari Aguilar Parcasio. Andrew Perizo. Devin Mahesh Patel. Dhaval Vimal Patel.
Vikram Pathania. Justin Peterson. Giuseppe Pelletieri. Adam Charles Phillips. Mackenzie Sheila Pinch with distinction. Spencer Pishke. Illyriana Polana. Soraya Joy Powell. Tyrone Jermaine Nathaniel Powell.
Amrita Pradeep. Vazhan Prakash. Maxim Yaroslav Prima. Felicia Maidin Quach with distinction. Simona Radojevic. Ravina Rakar. Abdullah Wahas Rana.
Chantel Razan. Sydney Lynn Ray. Jessica Ray Reed with distinction. Morgan Alexandra Rice. Samantha Lynn Robinson. Amita Kaur Rupnarine. Matthew Thomas Rock. Nolan James Rouleau. Justin Howard Rutley.
Gregory K. Sidonic. Arlene Soroya. Suklin Soroya. Lauren Victoria Schlau. Mark Richard William Scorgi. Dallas Scott. Sharzad Shabani with distinction. Raghav Sharma. Brandon Robert Sharp.
Saba Shika with distinction. Ziki Shen. Jessica Schifrin. Ramesh Muhammad Siddiqui. Neil Lawrence Segaya. Rachel Nicole Simpson. Arsimran Singh. Jaspreet Singh. Lori Beth Smereka.
Jacob Joseph Smurl. Rochelle Dawn Sorgiovanni with distinction. Justin Michael Sotkawi. Belinda Angela Spilak. Laura Elizabeth Jones Squires with distinction. Kyron Patrick St. Amand with distinction. Stephanie Ray Steele, with distinction. Nicole Grace Steenveld. Megan Stewart.
Andrew Jeffrey Stobie. Seth Jordan Steiber. Xiao Xiao Sun. Yichun Sun. Kelly Ann Suto. Tashina Sihatem. Sarah Takla. Mackenzie Kathleen Tarbar.
Brianna Nicole Tardif, with distinction. Chelsea Lynn Tatry. Lauren Jade Taylor. Alan Michael Teng. Andres Eduardo Tenias Gill. Nicole Leah Tetzloff, with distinction. Harmeet Singh Tandi. Joanne Tanya Thomas. Matthew Stephen Thompson.
Diana Diem Mi Nu Ton. Mike Tron. Jason David Triance. Matthew Jordan Tambach. Juan Antonio Valdez. Yevgenia Vasilizny. Sean Alexander Vreeling.
Michael Alvin Wagger. Jessica Erin Walls. Yiying Wang. Carly Leanna Warnock. Curtis Robert Watts. Daniel Bernard George Webb. Leslie Kathleen Wellesby. Luke Joash Wirenga.
Jager Allen Willem. Aaron Lee Wilson. Darcy Nicholas Witz. Alexi Brianna Wong. James Edward Wong. Ryan Jeffrey Woodward. Sally Wu. Ulin Ulin. Jingtian Li Yi. Kyle Michael Yurku with distinction.
Clea Lace Zara.
We are proud of you, Clea.
Bethlehem Taye Zode. Lin Zhang. And lastly, Michael Andrew Zincha.
And I present to you those graduates from the School of Business unable to be present, whose names are listed in the program.
We're just going to give our graduates a moment to return to their seats. Well, thank you, Dean Elfert. This concludes the presentation of a lot of graduates. Do you have room for one more round of applause? Because I think a big graduating class deserves a big round of applause. So join me in acknowledging the graduating class 2016! We have some awards now we'd like to present. And for this, we'll start with the Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence for the School of Business. And I invite Dean Elfert to present this award.
Within each faculty and school at MacEwan University, we recognize the students whose academic efforts have propelled them to the top of their class. The Dean's Medal are the highest academic honor that may be granted by a faculty and recognizes the exemplary success of individual students within their area of study. One award may be granted in a certificate or diploma program and one award in a degree program. This year's Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a degree program for the School of Business is awarded to Stefan Terry McGinn, a graduate from the Bachelor of Commerce program. Stefan earned his business management diploma and continued his academic studies in the Bachelor of Commerce degree, majoring in accounting. In total, he earned an outstanding 27 A+ grades and 11 A grades, graduating with a perfect 4.0 GPA. He is described by his professors as having a good attitude, respectful, and takes responsibility for his learning. Stefan also enjoyed activities outside the classroom and took the opportunity to participate in case competitions. He is currently working at Big Country Energy and will, no doubt, pursue and earn his Certified Professional Accountant designation. On behalf of MacEwan University, congratulations, Stefan.
Thank you, Dean Elford, and congratulations again to Stefan. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Corlett to please come up and present the Governor General's Silver Medal.
Thanks, Mike. You just met one outstanding student. Let me introduce you to another. The Governor General's Collegiate Silver Medal is awarded to the student who achieves the highest overall academic standing based on her or his graduation grade point average in completing a degree level program. This is not just from among the students graduating today, but from the entire 2016 graduating class and the 6 graduation ceremonies for all of those students. The recipient of the Governor General's Collegiate Silver Medal from the Bachelor of Commerce program is Kennedy Page Doyle. Stay here for a second. Each year we are thrilled at the accomplishments of all of our graduating students. So many do so much so well, and you all make us proud. But I want to take this opportunity to highlight what Kennedy achieved that makes her academic performance so special. During her 8 semesters of full-time study, each and every semester, and her summer study in Europe, she completed 19 courses with a grade of A, and her remaining 21 courses were all A+. And it was not just in the School of Business where she excelled. Along the way, she scored A+ grades in English literature, sociology, economics, politics, and anthropology, and A grades in psychology, Greek and Roman mythology, and criminology. What an outstanding undergraduate career please join me in congratulating the 2016 Governor General's Silver Medal winner, Kennedy Page Doyle. Let's come around to the front.
Congratulations. Now I would like to ask Ms. Cassie Burkholder, alumni representative, to provide a welcome to you, our newest members of the MacEwan University alumni family.
I literally just had it up on my phone and it went away. Embarrassing. When I look back on my experience at MacEwan University, Convocation almost mirrors when I first walked in the door. You're kind of excited, you're not sure what to expect. Some of you across the stage, I saw you kind of shaky and not sure what was going to happen. But while on campus, you also mastered a whole bunch of other skills. You mastered how to go into a discussion without reading the book and still hold your own. You guys all can look at me today, and even though you might be looking with great rapt attention, maybe you're not even paying attention. But what most important you're going to learn and you're going to remember is the friends and the connections that you've fostered while you were at MacEwan, and these will influence the rest of your life. Now on this big day, your life takes an exciting turn. You're in a beautiful spot in your lives. You'll think at some random moment in your life, probably after a few drinks or so, and you'll think about the totality of your life, where you came from, where you were when you graduated, and where you're at a quarter century later. And you'll know that you were lucky to have been at MacEwan, and that after a few years of stumbling, you found your place in the world, a place deeply connected to your purpose. The only advice I have to give is this. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and so ridiculous that we never ask the universe for it. The advice is ask for it. And if what you want doesn't come right away, the universe is too busy figuring out and putting all your pieces together for you so that it can give you exactly what you want. As a recent alumnus, there is no greater honor for me than to recognize your incredible achievement today and to be among one of the first people to congratulate you. MacEwan University's reputation has been built upon the students that this institution has graduated. A community of over 53,000 and however many other people are here today, alumni that are enriching the fabric of our cities, countries, and even the world. And now you guys are one of them. So with that, live the fullest life you can imagine, and congratulations, class of 2016.
Thank you, Ms. Burkholder, for that warm and inspiring welcome to our new alumni. This brings us to the closing moments of our ceremony, after which alumni and their families are invited to join us for celebration in the foyer. As I understand it is showering outside, I would ask our grads and their families to use photo stations in the foyer and the second floor so we can keep the gowns dry today. And at this time, I would like the grads to do a very important job. I would like them to express their appreciation to the people who have supported them throughout their academic and educational journey. Would the faculty members please rise? Graduates, a round of applause for the faculty. And of course, you couldn't have done this without the support of your family and your friends. Family and friends, please rise. Probably need to stretch anyway. Please rise. Graduates, a round of applause for family and friends. And now, for the people who are here to celebrate today, I would invite our audience, faculty, and staff to join me in congratulating our graduating class of 2016. Board Chair Day, I invite you to close convocation.
Thanks, Mike. Well, congratulations to each of our graduates. We know this is a special day, and we encourage each of you to celebrate its importance with family and friends. Allow me to express on behalf of everyone here appreciation to all the MacEwan University volunteers who helped make today such a success. All of us at MacEwan are exceedingly proud of the achievements of each and every one of our graduates. I think we should all agree that this was an event to remember. I now ask that everyone please stand and remain standing during the playing of our legacy recessional composed by Sean Bessie, and kindly wait until the graduates have left the performance chamber before you exit. Mace Bear, University Registrar, will you please lead the recessional? I declare this convocation closed.